Hello, this is wmpyr, and I got a request video from Great Bear 1982. He asked me about the Ekis block, and basically this is going to be my interpretation. I may be completely wrong. In fact, it might even be the wrong technique. If it is, I am sorry, and I hope that people can still benefit from this video in some way, shape, or form. Ekis block, from my understanding, is X block. Okay, so first off, let's start off with practicing the roof block. So the roof block is essentially like this. Okay, so let me break it down. The first thing is you're going to bring the stick up like this at this angle right here. Okay, notice the angle right here, because when they're aiming for my head and they're coming in with a strike like this, I'm going to use the stick to block. So this is my roof essentially, so I need to be underneath the stick like a roof, and the angle that I present with the stick like this, when they hit, it's going to help slide off their attack off the stick. Okay, and at the same time I'm going to be working angles, because in the Filipino martial arts and a lot of other martial arts really like to work those angles. So I'm coming out at this angle over here, and I'm using their momentum of sliding off my stick to actually help me counterattack. So this goes bam, like this. So I'm turning this motion into a counterattack. So just practice this move. 1, 2, just do it like 10, 15, 20 times, and then switch sides. Okay, so boom. All right. Now, the idea here, when I first learned this from Arnis, was when we did the technique like this hand over here came in and checked the opponent's hand. Not their, even if they had a weapon, I still checked their hand, not their weapon. So whether they were holding a stick, a knife, a machete, it didn't matter. The attack's coming in, so their weapon would hit my stick, and then this hand would check their hand. And then I'd come in with a counter strike. That means I'm in very, very close, okay? And then you can further translate that technique into this, where basically they're coming in with an attack, and once again, it doesn't matter if they have a knife, a machete, a stick, and as they do, this initial movement, this roof block right here, is going to actually hit their hand. All right, so I'm actually hitting their hand with this. So as they're coming in like this, their hand's going to collide onto my stick right here, and then this hand, once again, is going to check their hand. And now we're so close, it's probably just better for me to go with a puño strike. Okay, so that is what was originally taught to me. Okay, and now let's change that into knives. Okay, so with a knife, double knife, okay, same idea. They're coming in with a strike to my head. All right, so if I do this same motion that we're doing here, boom, and if I cut them on the arm, right, this, instead of hitting their weapon, I do this, the roof block, onto their arm, then that goes very well with the concept of defang the snake, and that's exactly what I want. So I'm defanging the snake, and then this hand was the checking hand. Well, this hand, instead of checking now, or I could still put it on their arm, but instead of checking, now it's going to cut because it's a blade. All right, so if you notice, there's an X right here. Okay, so as I do this, I get the X motion, and I'm drawing, so I'm cutting, and this is my counter strike right here, and then I can come in with the heaven 6. Okay, so let me do that again. Strike is coming in, so right here, boom. And this was the original technique. Okay, so as the strike's coming in for my head, I'm just doing the roof block and counter striking right there immediately. Okay, so if I have the other hand over here, same thing, and now this is checking. If I'm empty-handed, it's just a check. If I have a knife, it's gonna cut. And you can see the X right there. So boom. Okay, so that's my understanding of the X blocks, the Ekis block. And now let's go to empty hand, all right? Because in the Filipino martial arts, you've probably heard that they also do the a bare knuckle boxing, kind of a dirty version of boxing. And in that case, all right, the strike is coming in, okay, and this is my motion right here. Okay, so this is the same arm that had the weapon, knife, or the stick, and this is my roof block essentially, but I don't have to go all the way under, okay, because it's empty hand. So I'm going to be just right here, and the reason why this hand doesn't go underneath here it's up here, okay? And I'm still doing the same, I'm still doing a counter strike, okay? But the reason why I'm going this hand on top instead of underneath like I did with the stick, I'm going underneath. I can't go on top because I'll hit myself. If this was a blade, it'll be really bad. If it was a knife, I don't want to cut myself. So that's why the hand has to go underneath in this case. So if I did a roof block, the hand comes in underneath and I come in with a counter strike. In empty hand, I don't have to do that. Okay, so boom, and then this hand can stay tucked over here, comes from the top to check, and this is my counter strike right here. Okay, so the concept, the movement, virtually the same, but it connects different blade, stick, and empty hand together.